Hey guys, here are a couple of tips that I've noticed as I was grading some of the papers. The common Associated Press style errors that are coming up in the papers are last names on second reference. So the first time you mention someone's name, you say the whole name. The second time you use last names only, and we don't use courtesy titles like Dr. or Mrs. or Reverend. Numerals is the second thing that I'm seeing a lot of. So make sure that if it's a number under 10, most times you are spelling it out, unless it's an address, and there are different rules for addresses. So numbers, when you're writing numbers, double check those. Academic degrees, usually subject matters are not capitalized unless it's like English, so it's a proper noun. And then think about the register of what you're writing. So, in freshman comp, you heard that there's sort of the least formal to the most formal kinds of communication. And so a text is the least formal. In the middle is kind of a social media post. Then maybe an email is more formal. A news story is more formal, as is a press release. And then the most formal is usually an academic paper, which has citations and footnotes, which we don't use in journalism because usually there's not enough space for it. And then you think about the audience when you're deciding on what register to use, formal to informal, conversational. And then think about what the audience needs to know. And so what kind of details are you disclosing in your biography, for example? Think about that also, least formal to most formal spectrum. So for example, when I send a bio background, or if I'm speaking at a conference that's academic, has nothing to do with my faith, I will usually put in there things like papers I've published, other conferences I've presented at. I do list academic degrees because it's usually a legitimacy issue. Major Fortune 500 clients that I've done storytelling coaching for, that sort of thing. Any books I've edited. And then publication credits. I wouldn't use personal disclosures like my pets or my personal faith or my kids, my husband. I too was adopted by a step parent, so I probably wouldn't include that. So think about, the phrase that we have, which is TMI, too much information. What is appropriate for the client in the setting when you're including in a professional bio backgrounder? And the things that you disclose signal your ability to discern what's a professional communication versus what is personal. So for example, if I'm going to do a bio backgrounder for a church newsletter, I include a lot of more personal things because it's a community. So I'll list my pets, I've been married 37 years, the number of children I have, maybe also the professional stuff, the publication credits, the degrees, conferences that I've spoken at that are like faith-based and oriented. I usually don't put my testimony or my faith in there because there's an assumption if I'm at a ministry setting. Obviously, I'm Christian, right? So I don't want to beat that over the head. But so think about that. What's appropriate for the audience, because disclosure signals the level of professionalism and how to handle the disclosure of information. I've got some links that I posted last week to press releases and how you format them, and there's an example from PRSA. So it's always double-spaced. Usually there's a date at the top, a contact 24/7 cell in office, because nothing's more aggravating as a journalist than not being able to get information on deadline. Maybe there's a place to download images, a link if it's relevant. And so those are pretty much, I think, the main things I'm dealing with. I did get called for jury duty next week, and I work up near Santa Barbara, and I have a house down in SoCal in the Temecula Valley, and my jury duty's down there. So I just finished preaching this morning, and now I'm headed down there for the jury duty on Monday. So bear with me this week. I got through several of your papers over the weekend, but I've been packing to get down there. So we'll get to it soon. Thanks so much.